the most shocking part today about Rahul Gandhi was that instead of apologizing to the nation for the fake Hindu terror narrative which they had propagated, look at the way he bashed up the Indian economy, replicating the words of Donald Trump, hitting out at Adani, the Prime Minister. This only reconfirms that Rahul Gandhi has something very malified, something very notorious, and something very evil to hide. Now, I want to remind you, since I'm sitting in Mumbai, this was a place which has witnessed some of the worst terror attacks between 2006, the train blast of 2006, July 11, and 26/11 of November 2008. Now, that was the time when Rahul Gandhi is supposed to have met the US ambassador and said that Hindu extremism poses a bigger threat to the nation than Lashkar-e-Toiba. Now, imagine that was also the time when at least 3 of the investigations were deliberately botched up. The July 11, 2006 train blast, where we could not get a conviction despite our best efforts. We managed to get a conviction in Mocha, but then, because the investigation was entirely tampered, eventually the High Court let off those convicted by Mocha court in 2015. Samjhauta blast was another instance, and this Malegaon blast was the 3rd instance. I'm sure there could have been more instances. What also is very eerie is that apart from Rahul Gandhi, P. Chidambaram had started using the term in August 2010 at a DG conference. He specifically used the term that India faces a threat from Hindu extremist groups. He used the term Hindu terror. Sushil Kumar Shinde, the Home Minister of that era, whose daughter, by the way, is infamous in the last few days because she has called Operation Sindoor Tamasha. Sushil Kumar Shinde had used the word Hindu terror. So it seemed like a very, well-orchestrated plan of the UPA government, then UPA government, to let off Pakistan-based terror groups. And in order to do that, they deliberately botched up investigation in at least 3 of the cases, one of whose judgment has come today, where the supposed culprits or the people who were victimized have been completely exonerated. Well, an apology is the least they can do, because these people are unfit to be in public life. They're unfit to be opposition leaders in the country. Imagine when they were in government, they were far more dangerous. They were far more sinister. They were concocting the narrative of Hindu terror. Now, when they are in the opposition, they are aiding Pakistan every which way post Operation Sindoor by ending up being the mouthpiece of Pakistan. So these are extremely dangerous people who for some reason have a fundamental animosity with the country. And I think an apology is the least that they can offer. Ideally, they should quit public life, because till the time they exist in public life, they would continue to hurt Hindu sentiments and the national sentiments. Well, they will not stop. They are incorrigible. But I think people of the country need to realize, need to take a call, need to shun them. They have been shunned in the last 11 years, primarily for these evil antics of theirs during the time they were in government between 2004 to 2014. But yes, 11 years is a long period. I think the younger generation needs to be reminded of their evil antics against the Hindu community and against the country, between 2004 to 2014. That is the only way they can be kept out of power, because honestly, today, Congress party is as much as a danger to the country as some of our external threats. In fact, in the last 3 months, while we are dwelling upon what happened in 2008 in Malegaon, again in the last 3 months, Congress has only proved once again that they are the 0.5 front, which, General Bipin Rawat had once talked about. They have been openly championing the Pakistani propaganda in India. And the guy remains absolutely unfazed. So I think, they will never improve. But yes, the more channels like Republic, the more journalists like you remind the younger generation of their evil antics between 2004 to 2014, people will keep them at bay. Now, Parambir Singh has been adequately investigated. There are times when when many of these officers have acted at the behest and acted at the warnings of their political leaders. So perhaps it was decoded. It was found out that he was strictly acting under the instructions of, let's say, a Chidambaram or a Shinde, Sushil Kumar Shinde. And I think, the greater evil or the greater problem of that time was the political leadership of the UPA. Everybody from Chidambaram to Sushil Kumar Shinde were equally complicit in this anti-Hindu narrative, because it came from the top. It came from Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi.